Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Davey Squires.
All right. Well, welcome to Squires Station. You're Ariana.
I am.
Perrier. Perrier. Wine. And this episode is presented by Area 67 Studios. This beautiful studio right here, Area 67.
It's lovely.
They're top class entertainment. Comes from here. This is entertainment.
It's I feel like it's great to find something like this in Akron.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like it's definitely serving.
It's a great creative space.
Yeah.
So you're an artist. You brought all these beautiful faces. What do you call this? What do you call? Well, okay. Let's start with the spirals.
Okay, we're starting with the spirals.
So what was the inspiration behind these spirals here?
So the past year's been really intense for me. I did a lot of like internal work, which involved therapy, as it usually does for a lot of people. And with that came some sort of like, I don't like to use the word diagnoses, but stuff was brought up. So one of the things I deal with a lot is dissociation, which, are you familiar with that at all? What it means to like dissociate?
A little bit. I can see how that goes into
a spiral. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're not existing like within your body anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a defense thing. It's from, experiencing stuff when you're growing up. That isn't too pleasant. But through like learning that and doing a lot of work around like grounding and being present, I came to this like form of the spiral. And I feel like, these are spirals or labyrinths, or it's like this idea of like searching, but also continuation. And in a way, kind of like my timeline, like one of the other things I learned I was dealing with this year was a lot of like PTSD symptoms. So it's like going back into the past. And, a lot of times we think of our lives as linear, but I think
it's a spiral.
Yeah, it exists. Time's not linear in the same way for everyone. So I think it's me just like processing that.
Yeah. Well, it can go in, but it can also go out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a backwards version of that, I guess. I mean, looking outward. I like these though. These are cool.
Yeah, the double one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 spirals, 1 piece of paper, 2 for 1.
I kind of like the center of those, how it's like kind of faded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was from doing it like in a print format. So these are mono prints. So the black part was printed first, and it's done. I did it on a gel plate, so that's acrylic paint. Mm-hmm. And this is printed on this is a type of water. This is a watercolor paper.
Okay.
And then after that dried, I went through with the marker and added the marker into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's mixed media, and it's also like drawing and printmaking, I guess.
Yeah. So we gotta know what happened to the eyeballs. Wait, do you still have the eyeballs?
I have them all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the eyeballs are like really interesting. I started creating those. I think it was right when I moved to Kent. Mm-hmm. So it was like 3 years ago. I started them. And that series had sort of started before. Like I had sketchbooks that had a lot of eyes in them. Yeah. And then I just kept working on it. And then something weird opened up, and I just started painting all these eyes. And I was thinking eyes more like as a symbol and not an object. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Well, I mean, eyes can symbolize so much with just like such a little space.
Right, yeah, like it's like, the window of the soul, or a lot of the eyes I were painting were like way larger than any eye that you see in real life. So I was also kind of thinking of it as kind of they're kind of spiritual paintings, like in my opinion. Like when I'm around those paintings, they feel spiritual.
Well, the third eye is it's like a very it's a very big symbol in Buddhism.
Yeah. I think
in spirituality.
Yeah, I was gonna say even like New Agers and stuff. I feel like they were real into the third eye thing.
Influencers.
Influencers.
Like. Yeah.
this podcast is about art and influencers.
Yeah. Influences are art. Influencers are kind of weird because they'll do things that are just not all right and think it's all right.
Yeah.
But then
it's all about sales. It's like
true.
It's like capitalism manifested in
a person.
In
a person. Yeah.
In a virtual space. Because you know they're not like that in real life either. You cannot convince me.
Some of them might be.
I don't know. Have you ever met one?
You never know if you meet one or not. It's really weird.
I bet you they're not even like real humans. Like they're probably
robots created by the government.
The deep fakes.
Yeah.
Or they're probably just made by made by the companies to like sell their stuff.
The robots.
The robots.
So do all your pieces of art start out as sketches or?
No, I wouldn't. Okay, so these faces, for instance, I didn't draw any faces before I started on them. I mean, you could maybe make an argument that these are almost all sketches themselves. Because they were done so quickly.
These faces are...
Yeah.
Gotta get back to the faces, You've had a long enough break from the faces.
Can get rid of those spirals.
I'm spiraling into faces.
Davey loves the faces.
So, what is this whole... do you have a name for all these faces?
I have like maybe like a working idea of what maybe they represent. I haven't come up with like, I guess, an overarching title or anything, but they feel like apparitions to me. Like not necessarily like a ghost, but like it's like an imprint of something that exists, like a little bit of like a memory.
Oh yeah.
So like I was telling you before we started recording, I had been working at this rehab center and it was an all-male facility. And it was really like there was a lot of sadness there and a lot of pain that I was just seeing daily. And then I couldn't handle what was happening there with like management, so I made the decision to like remove myself out of that space. And I felt really guilty about it because I felt like I was actually making like real connections with these guys, and these are men that like come from pretty like rough backgrounds. Like a lot of them dealt with homelessness. A lot of them dealt with awful like childhood abuse. Several of them had been to like jail and prison multiple times, some for like long periods of time, like 10 years. And then obviously all of them were dealing with addiction too, which in its own is really difficult. And I was studying at the time counseling, and I wanted that experience of like working with people, so I had taken the job, and through doing that job I realized like, one, I need to not do counseling.
I mean, it's a good thing that you
realize that.
I mean,
yeah. And it's more so like just what's in the field. It's not even the type of work. It's like the type of people that exist in the field I didn't jive with.
Yeah, like the management part of it. Yeah.
The management, there's a lot of rules in counseling that I feel like are very limiting. I understand why they exist, but they create their own problems too.
I feel like that's like not as productive on the getting better part of things, because it's like
not always, yeah.
Because like everybody's different, and if you place a set of rules for one person,
it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah,
and a lot of it's just over like ethical stuff, which like makes sense. But I just felt like the management there was constantly looking to get on the defensive because they weren't doing things right. Yeah. And I had gone into that job being told that it was a therapeutic environment, and as I was working there, and this was I worked there about 6 weeks, they started shifting it to a more like correctional based system, and I just didn't jive with that. Like I don't agree with like our prison systems. I don't agree with that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
No, it's some dark stuff.
It's very backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to remove myself out of that, and then I had a crisis.
Yeah. Well, was that before the pandemic, or was that?
No, this was just like a month ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I've been unemployed for a month, which has been actually really nice.
Yeah. Like, you've had your time off.
I've had my time off.
Yeah.
And I started doing. You're gonna laugh. I started doing work again for Mike, who owns the Outpost. I can't get away from that.
That's
place.
great. You're coming back. It's full circle now.
I know. Literally.
Yes. He got it, circles. So that's been. So when did you start working back there, or?
In the last week.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, very recent.
Yeah, and I'm just doing part-time stuff for him. It's mostly honestly for his side of stuff, not so much in the concert club.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have those connections, so.
I wonder how they're doing. Like.
They just had a sold-out show.
Okay.
I mean, they're doing like super limited capacity
Yeah.
to make sure that it's not going to get shut down. But they had Metal Mafia play there. I think it was Saturday night, and it was full.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have Ripper Owens. I don't know.
Yeah, Tim.
Yeah.
He owned a bar down in on the Portage Lakes.
Yeah, that show's sold out too. So I think that's coming up here pretty soon.
I forget which band he was in.
I don't know. Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mike. I couldn't think of it.
Glad you have that knowledge.
It was like one of those 80s bands.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about like 80s hair stuff. I don't
jive with it either.
I don't like it's like I'll listen to it sometimes, but I won't.
It's too like done up. Like literally, like the hair's too done up and the sound's too done up for me.
Well, it's like I don't know. I feel like most of it kind of sounds. It gets to the point where it sounds the same.
Yeah.
Like not all of it sounds the same. The great bands made it sound different.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's probably one of my favorite parts about grunge.
Oh yeah.
That came after. It's like every grunge band sounds different. That's
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what.
Well, it's like I'm really into a lot of like different punk music, or like I would even say like I don't know if you call it pre-punk, but like stuff that kind of led up to punk music.
Yeah.
But I like the stuff that sounds real unique. Like there's not other people that sound like them.
Mm-hmm. Like pre-punk, you mean?
Like I don't know if you'd consider her, but like Patti Smith.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Where it's like there's a darkness to it, and there's like a political vibe going on, but it's not like just like the Clash, you know?
Yeah.
Like everyone thinks
it led up to the Clash.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like there's a really good one of those like stations on Spotify that's called like The Road to Punk Rock. I highly recommend it if people are into punk rock, because it's really cool music that you can kind of find off there.
Yeah. I think Patti Smith kind of started the alternative rock.
She was pretty, and she's still making music.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Her shit is cool.
Is she in the Hall of Fame?
I
thought she was.
I don't know, to be honest, but she
be.
should be if she
Yeah,
is in
I
it,
think
because she's pretty fucking cool.
I think she is.
She better
I'm
be.
pretty sure she is.
Yeah, I feel like Nina Simone was recently added, wasn't she?
Yes.
Because she's another one I listen a lot to.
Yeah.
And she's pretty punk.
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting to the point. My brother and I had this conversation the other day. They're getting to this point with the Hall of Fame. It's like, I mean, if you're gonna, I don't know why they call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame still. I mean,
yeah.
Like all genres are fine. Just why are you calling it rock and roll? I know it's in Cleveland. Cleveland's known for rock and roll.
Yeah.
Because the term was coined here.
Is that what it was?
I think, yeah.
I don't know the history of it.
Well, that's such an arbitrary thing. I don't know why they devote a whole Hall of Fame to it. It's like, what? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have no idea how we got onto this subject.
I don't know either, and it could go even deeper because there's a lot of weird Hall of Fames. Like I think about like the Football Hall of Fame because I grew up in Massillon, so it's
that's even what?
It's in Canton.
Yeah. It's such a weird.
It's just the Hall of Fame. I've never been there.
Was football invented there?
Yeah. I mean, it was like Paul Brown and so the Massillon-McKinley rivalry is considered one of the first like football rivalries in the entire country.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And then Paul Brown was the start of the Massillon Tigers.
Okay.
That's about all I know though, and I only know that from going to Massillon K through 12.
Now he has a stadium.
Yeah.
Named after him. Good for him.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing good.
He's in the grave.
He's not an influencer.
He's an influencer from beyond.
He's probably here with us tonight. He's here in the studio.
So the lights just flickered.
You know, this place might be haunted.
That's cool. I like it. Where I was working was totally haunted. Like where these drawings came from.
That explains that one. That explains that.
I'm making sure once I have a show, Davey, this one's going to you. I'm gonna name this one Davey.
It'll be an album cover.
When you make some really, really sad music. No, actually, the happiest music
it'll be really happy. Like it'll be like an album of just like electronica jazz fusion, just happy beeps and boobs.
Beeps and boobs.
Just that. Just that.
He's a sad panda.
Well, he looks like he's crying, kind of.
He definitely is. Yeah, there's a few of them that definitely you look at them and they're crying. But yeah, no, this place was straight up like legit haunted. Here, this one's pretty awesome.
Did you encounter any paranormal?
Not me directly. Some of the guys there though, like, told me stuff that was happening to them. Like, a lot of them were having like super severe sleep disturbances.
Oh.
And like they were being told like, oh, that's like, you know, from not using anymore. Like.
Oh. Yeah, they're giving that excuse.
Yeah, it's like your body's adjusting. But no, like things like their ankles getting grabbed.
Oh.
And then like one of the counselors that's worked there for a few years, I told her about like what some of the guys were saying, and the one room in particular that one of the guys was in, she had told me that multiple people had experiences in that room with things like standing next to them or grabbing them in their sleep.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, whether it's like a ghost or it's just like all the bad energy that is getting like released in there, I don't know, but I definitely think there was something not good going on in that building.
If I weren't a musician, I would I kind of want to still do this, be like a ghost hunter, just like
on the side,
just like go to very haunted places and just stay there, like Zach Bagans or like not as dramatic as him though. Like, I probably won't go shirtless on half the episodes and have all these tattoos all over myself.
Go all rando on it.
But I would stay the night and like just like hunt ghosts and shit. Like that sounds fun. Yeah,
I mean you can kind of do that here, like in Ohio. Like there's like Mansfield Reformatory and stuff. I know you can stay overnight there.
Oh yeah, they have tours though.
They do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think there's like some special package that you can buy.
The special package.
The special package.
There's some places in Cleveland.
May or may not include ghosts.
maybe not ghosts. I don't know.
Don't guarantee.
I thought you meant here. I mean, like this place is haunted.
Do it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The light starts flickering.
I feel like you guys got enough sound equipment. You could start catching some electronic voice phenomena.
Yeah.
Some EVPs.
Whoa, we're getting some vocab here. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So, tell me about that.
This painting?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. That's an acrylic painting. I think it's 3 feet by like 2 feet ish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's right. Or maybe a little bit bigger. I
Yeah.
don't know. How big do you say that is?
That looks like about 3 feet.
Maybe 2.5 feet?
Maybe 2.5, maybe.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
big.
2.5 by 2. Maybe.
I think that's definitely 3 feet tall.
3 feet by 2.5.
I don't know.
We're
gonna get so frustrated with a lot of measuring
these dimensions, man. I don't
Well, okay, so Davey and I are really bad at telling the sizes of things. But it's a larger painting.
We should probably get it in the frame.
Yeah, we can. I will very gently get it.
Very gently. Ooh.
Yeah. Is that the camera?
Yes, I think. Well,
I think-
also that.
Oh, it's large.
Also that here.
Yeah.
Da,
It's
da, da.
it's an acrylic painting.
Wow.
You might not be getting the whole thing, but that's okay. You can find it on my it's on my Instagram. I'm pretty sure I might have posted this one. I'm like really bad at keeping up on my Instagram.
This episode won't come out for like till May.
Oh, cool.
So you'll have time if it's not.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's an acrylic painting. On canvas, I either do acrylic or oil, but I've been doing a lot of acrylic lately because oil's really, you need like super good ventilation, otherwise you get high when you're painting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but like not fun high.
Not the good high, the bad high.
The high that you like have a bad headache and you're like, I feel weird.
Man, what did I eat?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yep. Very lightheaded.
The bad high.
The bad high.
How long did that take you to make, by the way?
That one, so it's interesting. There's actually a painting under that painting, which you can sort of see, like, that's like all those weird geometric shapes in the back.
Okay.
Is the painting that, I had done that one in undergrad, I think, like, my sophomore year, I want to say. But, yeah, I probably spent, I don't know, it's so hard to gauge sometimes. Conservatively, maybe 10 hours on it.
Okay.
10 to 15. Yeah, give or take. I mean, it's like, it's so weird because I'm really fast at making art. Like, I feel like some artists I know, visual artists I know, are real slow. Like, they take their time and it's like real methodical.
Yeah.
And I just like vomit art up. And yeah, it just I just spit it up. And yeah, so in actuality, maybe it only took me 7 or 8 hours. I don't really know.
You just lose track of time.
I lose track. Yeah, I'm not paying attention when I'm painting. And a lot of times too, like, it's done in multiple sessions. So I'll paint, walk away from it,
Yeah.
do something else. Sometimes I just stare at the painting for a while too to kind of. I used to call it in undergrad, like, romancing the painting, like.
Romancing the painting.
Yeah. So very, I don't know what to call it. Like,
Is that when you spend more time on it, on a certain part of it, or?
not even, like, I'm just literally sitting with it and, like, spending time with the painting itself.
Oh,
Like, I'm not even touching it. I'm
already
just, like,
done? Just like looking
or
at
in
it,
the
or?
process.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like making sure, like, I have it where I want it to be, and, like,
Yeah.
I guess maybe even, like, processing it or understanding it, because I feel like a lot of times with, like, my art making, it's a little bit automatic.
Yeah.
So it's like I just create something and then I have to, like, take time to kind of figure out, okay, what the fuck did I just make?
Yeah, getting to know your painting. that should be a class. That's an undergrad class.
It's 2 credit hours.
It's an upper division class. Getting to know your painting. That's great.
Yeah.
So what did you have? Do you have in mind what you're gonna paint before you paint it, or?
Usually, yeah. I would say, like, usually before I paint, typically I will have something in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I was working off the idea of the river with that one, and kind of the idea of, like, energy moving away from me into the river. I would say that would be the
River energy.
river energy. Yeah.
The Cuyahoga.
The Cuyahoga.
The Cuyahoga.
Yeah.
It's really actually can.
How did you say my last name again? Perrier.
Perrier.
Perrier on the.
Ariana Perrier.
You keep on saying it. No one's gonna know my. It's Perry.
I don't have your name in the title. No, I'll put period.
Period. Just fuck with me. The amount of people that say my name wrong too, it's like totally believable.
Parry.
Well, and then the first name too, like my first name gets mispronounced constantly.
Ariana.
Yeah, Ariana's okay. Ariana's okay. Adriana is kind of
Adriana. There's no D in your name. That doesn't need a D to make that.
Some people just like to add the D.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know how that works.
Well,
I mean,
do people ever mess up your name? I feel like it's kind of a hard one to mess up.
Not usually.
Like, how do you mispronounce Davey? Davey?
Dobby. Dobby. Lord of the Rings. Is that Lord of the Rings? Dobby.
No,
that's Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Smeagol and Dobby are like the same character. It's the same actor.
Same time period, too.
I know, it's like, yeah.
It's like 2001 or something.
Yeah, you were really young, weren't you?
I was 5.
Yeah. I was a little bit older. I think it was like 7.
Harry Potter is... I remember when that last movie came out, everybody was like, you should go see it. I was like, eh.
I don't think I saw it.
I didn't see a Harry Potter movie before, for 5 years.
I wasn't... Yeah, I'm like... People get frustrated with me because I never know like Disney or Harry Potter or any of that stuff. Like I can recite Shakespeare, but I can't.
Shakespeare?
It's been themed tonight.
What's your favorite Shakespeare
Hamlet.
play?
Hands down.
Hamlet?
Probably second would be Othello.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like Hamlet because he's like super angsty and like totally troubled.
I like Macbeth.
Oh yeah, Macbeth is good. Yeah, it's a good tragedy.
Yeah, I prefer tragedies.
Yeah, Hamlet's a tragedy too.
Comedic tragedies are fun too.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's
I'm
just
glad
laughing.
that we're talking about Shakespeare now. This just got very serious.
Everybody's laughing while this one guy's dying. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Yep. Shakespeare's comedies can be okay too. The weirdest one I ever saw was The Winter's Tale.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's like bizarre. Like I don't feel like it fits a genre of his really, because it starts off like, I think it has elements of historical tragedy and comedy in it, but like the comedy part of it just becomes absurd near the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one that was really like kind of boring that I read in high school was The Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't super into The Tempest either.
Was Much Ado About Nothing him?
Yeah.
Is that him? Okay.
Yeah, that's him. I don't know if I've ever seen that one live.
That one. I read it and it was boring. So.
Yeah, some of them are not. I mean.
It was a shorter one though.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah.
Not a good 3 or 4 hour play.
No. I think it would be like a 30-minute episode.
Okay.
You think Shakespeare had like phases where he would smoke a lot of weed?
I don't know if they had weed back then in that part of the world.
They had to have something like.
Maybe some like absinthe, or just a lot of caffeine, or like. Can you imagine
some Mountain Dew?
Some Mountain Dew. Shakespeare had Mountain Dew mouth.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
I don't know. I'm sure he had to have been on something though.
Probably. Well, I heard a conspiracy that he didn't actually write.
Yeah.
Any of.
Yeah, there's an idea that it's like he's like had ghostwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Or like he might have even been a real person. Like it was just all published under this name. Like that's.
It was one company.
Yeah, it was like a players guild, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Whatever. Art.
I know Globe Theater. Like
Globe
we can
Theater.
just throw out some more Shakespeare terms.
Art.
Something with the Queen. He had a thing with the
Queen. Yeah. Art.
Possibly some young boys.
Oh yeah. Possibly.
Pizzagate.
Probably.
I shouldn't laugh about Pizzagate. What the hell's wrong with me?
Pizzagate. Shakespeare. This interview has gone off the rails. Goodbye.
Did you know this is gonna happen today?
This usually happens, actually. So I probably should have asked this first. How did you start
Making art.
Yeah.
Oh man. So my dad did a lot of visual art, like all through college and stuff. I think I was kind of like primed for it when I was being raised. But yeah, my dad raised me, and he was always like really supportive of it. I remember like I would draw stuff and like go show him and stuff. And when I was in elementary school, I would like draw comics, and I was just like obsessed with it. I don't, like, and it's like when you're the weird kid and stuff. Like I feel like all visual artists are like the weird kid that didn't quite fit in.
Yeah.
That's why you get good at visual arts, because it's like a solo activity.
Yeah.
I feel like musicians sort of get that because there's like a solo element to it, but like you still kind of have to collaborate with other people.
You collaborate with other weird people.
Yeah. But you're just like slightly more social than like the visual artist. Like the visual artist is like, they're like the weird kid that like sits in the back corner and doodles and like barks and meows at people.
Yes. I was gonna be like
an art major.
Not that far. Like in high school, I would probably be better at drawing if I kept going with it.
That's what I tell. So okay, yeah, that's a whole topic in and of itself. And people are like, "Wow, that's just such a natural talent." Like I think creativity is a natural talent. I do think you can work on creativity too. But literally, like drawing is a skill. Yeah. Like someone can argue with me about this, but I think literally almost anyone can learn how to draw if you spend enough time doing it. Does it mean you're gonna be great? No, probably not. But you could replicate things. Yeah. Human copy your machine.
Well, same thing for music. I mean,
100%.
It's like it's a skill, but the creativity. I mean,
that comes somewhere else.
Yeah. But also like the drive to want to do it.
Oh yeah,
that's another thing.
That's like 95% of it.
Yeah.
You have to want to do it, otherwise nothing comes.
Yeah. Like there's no reason to do it if you don't want to do it. It's not like a job. Like it's not like a normal thing where you're kind of just like, I don't want to say forced into doing it, but there's less freedom with it, but more security. Any art. I'd say even architecture to a point, it's like,
or graphic design.
You better like doing it.
Oh yeah.
Or you won't do it.
Yeah, and it will suck you dry. Like that's the other thing about it too. Like it demands so much energy from you. If you don't like it, like it's not gonna feed back into you. Like it's gonna suck out all your energy.
That's why I drink water.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike provided the water. Wait, Mike provided the water. Food club.
Food club water. Is there anything special about it? It's recyclable, or 10 cents, or is that Oregon? Does that mean Oregon 10 cents?
Or it's recyclable, or 10 cents. Oregon.
It also has a QR code, which is very curious. You gonna check it?
Yeah.
The water. It's reverse osmosis.
What if it sends me the organ? What if it sends me the organ? Alright, reverse osmosis. Alright. Let's see what we got.
I'm not like 100% sold on their color scheme, green and purple. It's like the Joker.
What the fuck? Oh, it's their ingredients.
Really?
Water. It just says water.
That's awesome.
Allergens. Does not contain any allergens. Nutrition. Nothing.
I mean, it's good for you. Please drink water.
Features and benefits. I love these features. You gotta.
It's a slightly flexible water bottle. No?
That's it.
Glad we got that covered.
I was gonna say something of substance, but it totally slipped my mind.
It's okay. This is a fluid conversation. Did you enjoy it, Davey?
Water, skills, art. Yeah. So I was gonna. my grandparents were like, they would buy me easels and shit and painting kits when I was like in elementary school.
So they tried to do it. They tried to force it on you.
They really wanted me to be a
like,
painter.
They were like, this one's gonna be a painter.
They really wanted me to be a painter. And then I decided to play drums in 4th grade. And my grandmother liked that, I guess.
This is louder than painting.
Like, actually, my parents did not like that because it was so loud.
Yeah,
like,
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Especially probably like when you're first learning too, because like nothing good's coming out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just like they really wanted. Well, my grandparents really wanted me to be a painter for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like I didn't say I wanted to be a painter.
I think mine had a crisis when I told them I wanted to be a painter. They're like, but Ariana, you're so smart.
What are you doing with your life?
No, seriously, they're like, why aren't you a doctor or an engineer? Like,
Sorry.
No, not my dad. My dad, I will give credit. My dad never told me what I needed to do or not do, but I've forgiven her. But my mom and grandma both were like, what are you doing? And again, like, and this is, I guess, going into the whole like story of it. I majored in art in undergrad. I did art and psychology. I did a double major.
Mm-hmm.
My first semester, I was like, science. I'm gonna do science. I'm gonna do like neuroscience. It was like
neuroscience.
Just wait. Like before I did the art degree.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah. Well, I did a semester of it, and I took some art classes because I was like, I can't leave art. Like I'm gonna minor in it. And then by the end of the first semester, I was like, fuck. No, I'm just majoring in art. And so I'm in grad school. I do my first semester of grad school for counseling. Yay, right? Yeah, success. I do that, but then I have another crisis, and I'm like, but art. So I just applied literally this past Friday for an art history master's.
Okay.
It sounds like a shoo-in. I mean, I'm gonna say that and then like somehow not get into the program, but I talked to the director of the program and everything, so switching to art history, which
art history.
Yeah.
Is that like?
You can work in like galleries and museums.
Is there a word for that? Like how?
I'd be an art historian.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like a musicologist is like
a historian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's like an actual like license or anything like that.
You'll have a little card that says you're registered in this.
Registered. I could probably join some like cool clubs.
Food club.
Chef in a box club.
Chef in a box. Oh, I forget what that is.
Blue Apron.
Blue Apron.
This show is not sponsored by Blue Apron. Don't be confused.
You know what I do need to get? I need to get one of those the app that keeps your passwords. That'll just pick a random password.
Yeah.
So all my passwords are the same.
Yeah, mine too. And then they've like been compromised, and I've had to go in and change them all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna remember.
I'm waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, it will. It will.
When I change them, it's not even anything different. I just add like an S.
like an exclamation point.
Yeah. Like the first letter capital, you know.
You know what's worse too? I've been like using the same password since I was like 12. Like since I started using the internet heavily, since like Neopets.
Well, then that just means you can log into your Neopets.
I know, right? I can go find my Neopets account.
Neopets.
Did you have one?
No.
Oh, you weren't.
I wasn't that cool.
Was
that the keychain thing?
No, that's like Tamagotchi. I had that too. No, Neopets was like virtual pets online, and it had a bunch of like flash games you could play.
Huh. I had a Tamagotchi for like a day, and I broke it.
Did you kill it, or did you actually break it?
I broke it.
Jesus Christ.
I threw it on a wall. I was very angry.
Apparently. This toy's boring.
It was boring. Like
they are boring. They don't.
Like,
they eat and poop, and maybe they stay alive.
It's digital poop.
digital poop that you have to clean up.
Yeah,
You can't cuddle it like a real animal.
they brought those back, I think.
They did, yeah. Actually, you know, it's weird. This Tamagotchi literally has come out of my mouth like 10 times today.
Tamagotchi.
But yeah, some girl I know posted an image on Instagram that she bought one from Target. So they're out there. They're in the world. They've existed from the 90s on.
I need to invest stock in Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi. I think it's Namco? I think it's made by Namco.
Oh, really?
I think.
Dang.
Maybe Hasbro. It's one of those companies.
They should make a Tamagotchi like arcade game.
That'd be cool.
Where it's like
Pac-Man?
Yeah.
That's what you were thinking, wasn't it? They kind of look like Pac-Man.
You know, I had my first Shamrock Shake of the year today.
Oh, congratulations. That's like the frat boy equivalent of the pumpkin spice latte. Actually, no, it's like the soccer mom equivalent. Is it the pumpkin spice latte?
It's pretty good.
Is it? I've never had one.
Really?
No, what is it? Mint?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd probably like it.
It's pretty good. I think it's the best thing they have. Like, I've only ever gone to McDonald's for
Shamrock Shakes. They had, that's hilarious. I went to McDonald's one time specifically because I saw that they had was it McFlurry? I wanted to say Blizzard, but it's a McFlurry.
Yeah.
That was made of Stroop waffles.
What the fuck?
I know.
What?
That's why I went.
Where at?
It was in Kent. It literally, like, I had it once and then it was gone.
Limited time. They were not making money
off
of it.
It was a one-night stand on Stroop Waffle McFlurry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Limited time only.
Yeah, they had, it was like some weird international McFlurry things. They had other ones too, but, like, the Stroop Waffle spoke to me.
McFlurry Day?
I don't know.
McFlurry.
It was like a year or two ago.
Huh. I haven't seen anything. Then again, I'm not up to McDonald's news. No. I'm not up to...
It falls into the Disney category and the Harry Potter category for me.
Dude, I should start a podcast that just reviews McDonald's. We talk about it for 2 hours. It's like, man, this hamburger's good. Let's talk about it for 2 hours. I like the meat.
The meat's terrible. When's the last time you ate a fucking McDonald's hamburger? It's barely meat.
12 years?
12 years. It's on par with, like, the hamburgers you would get in, like, school lunches.
Well...
I would say, like, it's, like, one step up from that.
See, like, what I did in high school, I wouldn't eat the school lunches.
Uh-huh.
They would have these little PB&Js that were wrapped up.
Oh, like the plastic?
Yeah.
The Uncrustables?
Yeah. I just eat those.
Did you have an entire diet of Uncrustables for 4 years?
And parfait. It's just that for lunch. It was actually way cheaper than getting a lunch, so I'd be getting a good deal.
Yeah, were you pocketing your school lunch money?
I'd be pocketing $2 every day.
That's awesome. You know, I never took a school lunch. In high school. I did in middle school.
Did you pack your lunch then?
I would pack it and eat it in band class because I wanted to do band and visual arts. And then I got really used to it and I had like social anxiety and I never wanted to like have to go find a lunch table to sit at.
It's too late now.
So like I dropped band after my sophomore year and I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna like not take a lunch still. Is
that the real reason why you drew these faces?
Because I'm sad.
Is it all because of lunch?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that goes into it. Yeah.
I had that problem my sophomore year because one of my best friends was dating this total bitch. And I could not stand them.
Don't hold back, Davey.
This is my rant. I couldn't stand them. It's like.
Did you sit with them at lunch, or did you have to?
No, I went to the gym.
Oh, so you just didn't take. Okay.
I just didn't eat lunch
so
that whole year because of that relationship.
That's really sad.
I couldn't. They were one of those couples that were like
Gross.
They were just like they were
Toxic.
They were gross and toxic.
Both.
And just like
double whammy.
And just like ew. It's like ew. I don't. This is not eating.
This is not eating material.
This is not eating material.
I can't enjoy my Uncrustables around
you. My parfait.
Was it like a yogurt parfait?
Yeah, it was actually pretty big. It was like as tall as this bottle, but
yeah.
It was like this wide.
Awesome.
It's really good. It was like layered and shit.
Oh, they have granola and fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, that's legit.
That's where all the budget went for our school.
To your parfaits.
Our cheese sandwich budget went to the parfaits. So were there any like artists you look up to at all?
Totally. Yeah, so I really like any sort of like folk artists or naive artists. So those are like people that are untrained, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them tend to be like unnamed then, because it's, you know, people that are just doing like crafting and that sort of thing. But I guess if I was like going to name off some like fine artists I'm really interested in, you know, I can be like generic and say like Picasso, because there's like some Picasso stuff that's really interesting that he was doing. Not so much like the Cubism, but I think like a lot of like his Blue period and Rose period super interesting. And then Francis Bacon is badass. I just watched a documentary on him recently. And I guess like if I want to get local with it, I studied under Jack McWhorter, who's at the Stark campus. And then beyond Jack, who Jack studied under, is Joseph Osicki, who there's like a couple of his paintings at the Cleveland Museum of Art. And I recently got a retrospective book of his. And fun fact, I hope my family doesn't listen to this, but I had this one day where I decided I was going to do a mushroom trip and just look through that book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, family, I don't normally do drugs, but
I mean, that's the thing to do when you
do psychedelics.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a party drug, in my opinion. And if you are partying on it, it's going to be really weird.
Yeah.
It's going to sit you down.
Yeah. No, yeah, I can't function. Like, I've had friends who've gone to art museums on acid.
I would imagine it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I can kind of like, I mean, I've only done acid once, and I looked at a book of folk art the entire time, basically.
Yeah.
So it was like 6 hours of looking at a book of folk art.
It's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think I've done mushrooms maybe like 5 times max. It's like maybe a couple times a year deal, like,
yeah,
because you got to process that stuff afterwards. But yeah, so I looked at this book of his, and I could just sort of like see that line that connected from me to Jack to him.
Yeah.
And that influence, you know. So it's
that's cool.
Yeah, I get a lot of influence, I would say, too, from like professors I had and people I worked and studied under, and artist friends. Like I feel like in going to museums and galleries and looking at other art, I think is vital for somebody that's making things. Like, it's the same thing like as a musician, like you want to go and see live music.
Yeah.
Like, it, even if your style is totally different than that person's, like I still feel like you get something out of it.
Yeah. You just gotta be open-minded towards it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's all art.
All of it, yeah.
You just gotta be open-minded towards it.
Yeah, when you're closed off, it just, you start limiting yourself and losing, I guess, like beautiful things in it.
Oh yeah. Of course, I feel like that student-teacher relationship is the same with music.
Oh yeah.
Because
it's like a mentoring process.
Oh yeah, it's like I've gained so much theater knowledge from a lot of the vocal teachers that I've had. And I've gained a lot of, like, I found out about drum corps and stuff from a lot of the percussion teachers I've had.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're always learning from your teachers, but you're also learning from your surroundings.
Yeah, and your peers and whatever. Yeah, I think like with any art, like making those connections in the community of like the fellow artists is so important. And I think that's why I've just always been drawn to it. Like, cause we know each other was it through the Outpost or was it through an open mic? I don't even remember.
I think it was through an open mic at the Outpost.
Okay, yeah. So both of them. I go to a lot of open mics too, so I've met a lot of like local musicians through that.
Yeah.
Well, when those were a thing, but and they're starting back up. But
Slowly.
like Kevin and Nick of Salinas Poly, I originally met them at an open mic, Tremont Coffee open mic actually.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're still doing those, I recommend.
I don't. Are they still?
I don't think so because
Yeah.
I think my buddy Michael George was running them and he doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what comes back. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know a lot of places just won't go back to the way it was because it's just not
Possible.
monetarily feasible. It's just like
And it sucks, because I went to a lot of like the uncorked wine bar ones too.
yeah.
That was badass, especially when Gretchen
Yeah.
was hosting because she drawed a really good crowd and
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've really gone much to them since she left.
I went to her last one.
I think I did too.
Oh really?
I believe so.
It might have been the second to last one.
I was near the end of it because I remember her telling me that she was leaving and stuff.
Yeah. I just remember her being like, "All right, I'm leaving."
Yeah, it was like really spur of the moment.
I didn't even know. She just, this is my last open mic. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and that's something cool that I would do sometimes at those, and I'm always open to it too with musicians in general. I've done it for a couple musicians, but I do like live drawings, and I actually draw like the musician playing. Like it's like a lot of like live painters and live drawings will do like some
flow type thing.
Flow or like I think of what's his name, Justin Roberts.
Yeah.
With Tropodelic, like he has a very unique style and like he does well. Like he sells his stuff, so like props to him because he's making decent. Well, I don't know for sure, but he's making.
He's still making amazing art.
He's making art and hopefully making money off of it. Like you're always hoping for an artist that they're making money.
Yeah.
I can't speak for him. I don't know him personally either, so I can't speak for him. But like I've been able to do that at some of the open mics. I'll do it, and then I've done it for Time Cat, Josie McGee.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Selena's Poly. I did one for them. So that's something I'm always into too.
Those guys are always fun.
All three of those people.
Yeah.
Well, Time Cat's a group, but
yeah,
they're all great people.
They're the bee's knees.
Yeah. Yep.
They're the bee's knees. The bee's knees. The bee's knees. I had a question.
Yeah.
I had a question brewing.
Tell me.
And
Is it there? It's like such an awkward silence.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask what plans you had for this year? Like,
for 21?
yeah.
Shit, yeah. So it's like 2020 was so crazy. I feel like it turned everything upside down. And it's hard to like think of 2021 and like feel like I actually even have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I've been trying to take it pretty easy because I feel like I burned myself out there a little bit. So I'm working part-time and focusing on doing art. Like I think a lot of what I'm going to try to do right now is try to look for art opportunities, like some shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I neglected that for at least like a year or two. Like I had a really bad experience where I had hung up all my art and then this, it's actually at Stark State. But they told me to like go take it down because they weren't happy with it or something. And I don't know if you've, I mean, I'm sure every artist has had some sort of experience similar to that.
I think you told me about.
I might have, yeah.
Saying something.
Yeah, maybe when we ran into each other in downtown Kent or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so upsetting that, like, I couldn't make anything. Well, I was making stuff, but I couldn't, like, seek out opportunities for a while. It'd be the same thing, like, if you got booed off stage or something. Like, you just feel like shit.
Yeah, no, I feel that on a spiritual level.
Yeah,
dude,
it sucks. It sucks.
I feel like I've never gotten booed off stage, but I've felt like shit after a show. Like I've felt like
nobody liked it. It didn't vibe with anyone.
Oh no, yeah.
And what was even shittier about that experience is like I had like told people, and like there were people planning to come, and like I think I had a musician friend lined up to like play or something. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't even a gallery either. Like, how they had this space set up, it was a hallway, which is a lot of times what happens with, like, art, is it just gets put in a fucking hallway.
Yeah.
So it was completely irritating. But I've processed it. Like, I feel like I'm kind of over it at this point. It's sat a long enough time. So I'm planning to hopefully, like, get in some shows, some group shows. Maybe, you know, if I can find a place to nail down a solo show, that would be great too. But yeah, that's the big one. And then actually practicing Spanish is another goal of mine for this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I have like intermediate level in Spanish, and I want to get a little closer to fluency. It's required for the art history degree too. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I was learning Spanish when I was in California.
It's a cool language.
It's cool. It's actually not that difficult to learn.
No, I feel like too, like we have easy access to it.
Oh yeah.
Compared to like, you know, I don't know if you were trying to learn Russian or something.
Yeah.
Or Chinese.
I feel like learning English and then Spanish is easier than the other way around.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so I have a lot of connections in Mexico with some language teachers, and it definitely seems like that's the case where non-native English speakers have a really hard time learning English because we just have weird rules, like
we do,
in words that can be used in like multiple ways,
and spellings
and meanings, like, and
it's nuts. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Talked a lot.
All these faces. These faces.
Yeah. Coming out in a 3-day period.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Please look at the camera so they can see how it.
Thank you for coming in.
Which one should I be? Do the pink face? I feel like this is the closest to my face. And you know, maybe it's also this, like, maybe I'm making faces. I just thought of this. This is an interesting idea, or I don't know, perception on this is, you know, we've been like wearing masks for coming up, I guess, like on a year that it's been mandated, right?
Yeah.
And actually seeing like a full person's face that you don't know is like not a thing right now.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that too with this series, like actually focusing on the face and what that might mean, like, you know, like on a subconscious level.
Well, it's like sometimes you can't tell sometimes who it is with the mask on.
Yeah, or even like what their emotion is, like unless they're like smiling with their eyes or like doing something with their eyebrows, like it could be like straight up frowning, and you would have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's part of it. That's interesting. Yeah. That is an interesting thing. I mean, that has to affect mental stability.
Yeah, well, I think about even, like, babies, you know, like, how are babies developing right now with, like, not seeing people's faces? I mean, they're seeing, like, their parents' faces, but...
I mean, I can't remember anybody I saw when I was 3, so...
No, me either. But it still has to affect you, right?
I guess so. I mean, I'm already crazy, so...
And me too.
I'm already a psychopath.
We're all mad.
I don't know. Well, thank you for coming in and...
Yeah, I appreciate it. This was fun.
Describing your faces, the many faces.
Talking about... I don't know how many topics we touched.
We touched a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna maybe have to do some editing.
Just keep it all in.
Just
Keep it all in.
fuck it.
Just keep it all in. Where can they find you at?
So best place right now is Instagram, and that would be at Ariana Parry, and that's ArianaParry. For all those that my name's so hard to spell.
P-A.
Yeah, not P-E.
Not P-E.
Yeah, don't get that confused. And I'm sure you can probably tag me in something too.
Yeah, I'll have all your links in the description.
Yeah. Facebook's deactivated at the moment. Been so since October. Yeah, right? I know. Everyone needs a clap if they deactivate Facebook.
I swear I would not have a Facebook if I didn't do music marketing shit.
Yeah, that's...
I wouldn't have any social media if I didn't... Well, I might have an Instagram, but no.
I don't hate Instagram, even though it's owned by Facebook. Like, I don't hate it.
They're slowly turning it into horrible.
You don't get, like, followers like you used to.
Oh, no.
I don't feel like people see your stuff at all.
No, they don't.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
It's total garb.
It's
I think it's because I have a business account, though. I think if I put it back to personal...
it might be better. Who the hell knows? They change that stuff all the time.
You gotta outsmart the robots.
Good luck.
You gotta outsmart the robots! Cogs in the machine!
That's awesome.
You can find me on Facebook, sadly.
Davey's still stuck in the Matrix.
Yeah, on my stupid page, Davey Squires Music. And then you can find me on Instagram at Davey_Squires. And I do have a website because I go off the grid, dsquires.com. You can find all the past episodes there. And my music shit.
Cool.
That's stuff. That's there too. So, you know, that's there.
That's not hard.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was fun.
What's that? I did not sound any type of sincere there. Thank you for coming in.
Be gone.
This is like a job interview. We'll call you. We'll call you in a couple weeks.
If you don't hear from us,
you know why. If you don't hear from us, you know why.
I appreciate you spending time with me in my crazy art.
Yeah, I love it.
Thanks.
Each one is different.
The
faces of
sadness. You're still so...
Well, what's the happiest one?
I don't know. I don't think any of them are happy.
Well, sometimes.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, he's probably pretty happy.
This one has a little smirk on it.
A little smirk. He's like naughty. It's a naughty face.
Is this the mouth or is that the mouth?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because it's probably printed where was the mouth, and then I drew in the mouth there. But maybe you could say like it's showing movement or something. You were really pondering that.
So this could be the chin.
That's a chin for sure. I would say so.
I
at
thought
least.
this was like a little hair.
Yeah, like a little soul patch.
Yeah.
He's from the early 2000s.
He's Smash Mouth.
Yes.
All right, Mike, we're done.
Thanks. Lower yourself out of it. How long did we go? We went for a while.
5 hours.
It's been 3 days.
Been 3 days.
My next show will be a show about McDonald's products.
Please.
We're gonna just eat McDonald's.
Please invite me back.
Episode 1, cheeseburger.
McChicken.
We gotta start with the simplest thing on their menu.
Yeah.
With that.
The dollar menu. Every dollar menu item.
Yeah. We gotta work our way up. And so by the last episode, it'll be
the most expensive item.
the freaking McRib.
The Mc.